Hi friends! Last Sunday we considered the only recorded event of Jesus' childhood, when he stayed behind in the temple in Jerusalem while Mary, Joseph, and the rest of the family returned home to Nazareth. When Mary and Joseph realized that Jesus was not in the traveling party, they returned to Jerusalem and spent several days searching for him. They finally found him in the temple, listening to the teachers and asking questions. I can hear the mixture of frustration and relief in Mary's voice when she says to Jesus, "Child, why have you treated us like this? Your father and I have been anxiously looking for you." Jesus' response is the first recorded words that he speaks. "Why were you searching for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house or about my Father's business?" Now, any statement that Jesus makes carries significance, of course, and this one is no exception. At the age of 12, on the cusp of adulthood, Jesus claims for himself his relationship with God the Father and accepts his role in God's business of setting all things right and making all things new. I was thinking, Mary and Joseph did not intentionally lose track of Jesus. They assumed he was with them on the road that they were traveling. And if that could happen to Mary and Joseph, it can happen to us too. How often do we go on our merry way assuming that Jesus is on the same path? How often do we take Jesus for granted? Now, don't get me wrong, Jesus is always with us. But I think there are plenty of times when he is not with us in terms of agreeing with our decision or our direction, or in terms of being on the same wavelength or the same path. We continue on the road that we have chosen without thinking whether Jesus is ahead or behind or turned at the last crossroad. So it's good for us regularly to stop, to take stock, and to evaluate if Jesus is with us as we go about our business, or if our business is so far removed from God's business that Jesus is tending to it elsewhere. And when we discover that we have gone our own way and left Jesus behind, the best thing that we can do is search for him in scripture and study, in worship and prayer, in sacraments and service, in community and fellowship. And when we search, we will find him. It may take some time. It took Mary and Joseph 3 days. And it will likely involve surprise. Mary and Joseph were surprised to find Jesus in the temple. If they had expected him to be there, they wouldn't have spent so many days searching for him. And I imagine they were also surprised by what he said to them. He didn't say, "You're right, what was I thinking?" He said, "I must be in my Father's house or about my Father's business." When we reconnect with Jesus, we shouldn't expect him to say, "You were right." Rather, we should expect the unexpected, which might involve embarking on an entirely new journey altogether. Or it might involve returning home along the same road, but with a different heart. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again next week.